Alright, welcome back. So when we talk about this, there are a couple of ways when we can connect hard disk, right? So there's ATA, Advanced Technology Attachment, we call it ATA. There's SATA, right? This, which is ME SATA, which is quite common these days. Serial attached SCSI, SAS, USB, and fiber channel, right? So the most common today is SATA. We use it most on our hard disk. Right? Uh, Now, aside from that, today we also have NVMe, which stands for the E stands for Express, right? That's connected directly to your PCI bus. So you see some of the modern computers actually have disk with NVMe Express. Okay? The data transfers for uh, on a bus is basically faster, right? And usually we have a controller to control how the disk is being accessed, right? Now this drive is basically a one-dimensional array of logical blocks. So accessing these blocks sometimes requires uh, you know those disks and sectors basically have to be mapped, right, into a physical address, right, so that it should be easy, right, to basically access them, right. So we have a physical address of where it is, and then we have logical address to basically refer to it, right. Okay. Now when we are accessing hard disk, because we have to keep moving the head to go to the correct track, right. Now, so remember this picture previously, right there, right? So we have this what we call an arm, right? And this arm have to move up and down the track to read data, right? And when it moves up and down, this basically makes a delay time, right? We call it either the seek time that's required, right? And in that case, there are certain algorithms that we use to see how fast we can access this, right? And those algorithms are called hard disk scheduling algorithms, right? There are a couple of hard disk scheduling algorithms, right? We're going to talk about it a bit late, in a bit, but just know in mind, because of the disk is the arm is moving, so to go to different track, this would result in some kind of delay, right? And having a disk scheduling algorithm, right, make sure we are using the arm movement at the best way we can to access data, right. um, okay, so let's illustrate our request here from consider the request is mapped into a number of track from 0 to 199, right. So, and let's assume that the pointer head is now at 53, right, and we are accessing track 98, 183, 37, 122, 14, 124, 65, and 67, right. So with this assumption, right, there are a couple of algorithms that we're going to talk about. First is the first come first serve algorithm, and if you look at this, it start with track number 53, right. So we assume number 53 here, and then we assume it moves right first. So so it'll move from 53 to 98 because that's the next request, right, and then it moved to 183 because that's the next request, right, and so on, right. So it'll move here. So if there's no other, so if there's another one that is lower down the track, then it will revert back to the other position to go to 37, right. So first come first serve algorithm actually just caters for which one is first requested, right. And from here you can calculate how far the discs have moved, right? And here we can say the discs have moved as far as 640 cylinders, right? If you calculate this line, right, movement, right, how many tracks that it has moved, right? That's basically FCFS, right? Now instead of doing this, right, first come first serve, we can actually schedule it very smart, right? Now the disk can basically the arm of the disk can basically start at one end of the disk and move towards the other end, servicing requests until it gets to the outer end of the disk, right? So you can imagine that if we look into this picture again, the disk basically move one direction inside outside and then comes back in, right? Move out and come back in, right? So it basically moves in one direction, and we call this the scan scheduling algorithm, right? So the scan scheduling algorithm, as you can see, it first moves in here, right? Starts at 53, right? But what it does is that it'll move one direction, and which is closest to it, right? So as it moves to one direction, it moves to 37 first, right? Because 37 is the closest one to 53, right, at this point. And if it's already at 37, it will just continue to move on, right? So it continues to move on until it reaches the next request, right? And then it will just continue until it hits the end of the beginning of the disk, and then it will reverse position and handle all requests on the reverse positioning, right? So as you can see, in this type of algorithm, it will probably result in a lesser distance travel, right? So here you can see zigzag happening. Here you can see just one a straight line from one position to the other position, right, which will result a lesser amount of time for the disk to basically move. So this would make it access time faster, and this at the same time also will increase the lifespan of the disk because the arm move much lesser, right? Now moving all the way to the end is actually a waste of time. In this case there are other algorithms can be considered. There are also a algorithm called C-scan, which provides a more uniform wait time than scan, right? Basically the head move from one end of the disk to the other end, servicing requests as it goes, similar to scan. But when it reaches to the other end, however, it immediately returns to the beginning of the disk without servicing any request on the return trip, right? So this makes it a bit faster. It doesn't have to stop, right? But basically what this guarantees is just that it goes one direction and then it'll just go back, right, without any servicing, right? Now arguably this algorithm provides more uniform wait time, right, for each of the processes, right? So there are other types of algorithm also being discussed. SSTF is a common and has a natural appeal. This is shorter service time first. So which one is the closest to it, and it will service it first, right? Scan and C-scan basically, right? So the four major types of scheduling algorithm. The first is first come first serve. The second is SSTF, not really shown here, right? But basically it's an algorithm that scans, order it by which one is the closest, right? And then schedule it that way, right? All right, so let's move on to I'm going to skip some of this area, for example NVM scheduling and the error detection and correction on the hard disk. And we'll stop here for now, and we'll continue on storage device management. I'll see you in the